Howdy, first graders. It's me, Mr. B, and we're going to make this video to explore ways of writing future tense verbs with the focus today on using these two words, going to. So, if you remember, a couple days ago, we worked on practice book page 47, where we put verbs, action words into the future just using the word will. So now, today, on page 52, we are going to continue looking at the future tense, but instead of will, we're going to focus on using going and to. So I am sure that all of you use the words will or going to talk about things that will happen in the future all the time. And I'm sure you don't think about it. No one does, except when we are analyzing how to use words, which is what we do in literacy. All right. So to help us think about this and to understand the correct way to write future tense verbs, this is what I did, and I'm hoping you can do this too. So feel free to pause the video anytime to stop and follow directions. So the first direction would be to get a piece of paper, or if you have a notebook, here's my first grade notebook. If you have a notebook or a piece of paper, it can be lined paper or blank paper, it doesn't matter. By the way, here's where we did the contraction action one time, and here's my dolphin writing poem from yesterday. Here's where I did today's all about today. And so now I went to the next free page, and what I did is I turned the notebook from being shower to bathtub. So I think you should do that as well. And then take a pencil. I used a marker, a Sharpie, just so that it would show up better on the video, but it's better for you to use pencil in case you want to erase. And the first thing I did is I made two vertical up and down lines, each about a third of the way, so that my paper was in three vertical equal parts. We call that thirds, by the way. And then where the red line is, we can actually trace under that. That's going to be the title. So we have three equal parts that we call columns. The title of the first column, you can write present or past. So in this column, we're going to write sentences with present or past tense action words or verbs. Again, feel free to press pause to follow the directions and then press play again. So then after you've written present or past above the left-hand column, the center column, write will. That's where we're going to practice what we did the other day. We're going to turn the present or past tense verbs into future using will. And I'm even going to write that right now. Future. F-U-T-U-R-E. Future using will. And then in the third column, we're going to write the same sentence and with the same verbs, but we're going to change the verbs into future verbs using going to. All right, and it's a little tricky. That's why we're going to work on this together, to help you focus on the parts that can be a little trickier and to master those parts. All right. So after you've got your three titles, then what I'd like you to do is make two horizontal lines all the way across the paper. And when you do that, that'll leave you room for 3 different sentences to work on. That's what we're going to do together. Okay? All right. Now, in the first sentence area, under the where it says present or past, we're going to write a present tense story, or sentence, excuse me, with the verb write. And it's a 3-word sentence to keep it short. It's I write stories, period. So please write, I write stories. Okay. Feel free to press pause and press play again when you're ready to continue. Now, what would we say if we want to change it from the present to the future using will? You would just insert or put the word will in front of write. So it would become I will write stories. So let's write that sentence right here. I will write stories. Period. Okay. So far, so good. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. It gets a little trickier when we're using going to. Because when we use the word going to, those aren't the only 2 words you have to add. You also have to add some version of the verb to be. Remember, we learned about to be. I am. You are. He is. She is. We have to add that verb plus going to make the future tense. So if we want to, instead of saying I will write stories, we would say we wouldn't say I going to write stories. We'd say I am going to write stories. If the person, the naming part, wasn't I, but it was you, then it would be you are going to write stories. But let's stick with I for now, since that's what we used here. So I will write stories becomes I, not I going to, I what? I am. Then you put going to. Excuse me. I am going to what? Write stories. So over here, we'll finish the sentence. Write stories. Period. Okay. So one of the reasons this is a little tricky is because you got to add that 3rd word. Even though going to is the main part, there's a 3rd word that makes it make sense. Either am. So what if it was you? It wouldn't be you am going to, it'd be you are going to write stories. What if the naming part was he? He is, not he am, he is going to write stories. What if the naming part is she? She, not she am, she is going to write stories. What if it's we? It's not we am, it's we are going to write stories. What if it's they? Not they am, they are going to write stories. You see how this is a little more, there's more to this than you might think originally. How about this sentence? This is going to be in the past tense. You can tell because there's an ed at the end of the verb. It's I walked quickly. So please write that in your second sentence space under the past, present or past column. Okay? I walked quickly. All right. Now, what I'd like you to do is press pause and just write here, what would the sentence be if you're going to change walked to the future using will? After you try it, then press play again and see if you get it right, because I'm going to do it here in a minute. But just hypothesize, what would you say for I will what? Using the verbs walk and quickly. Okay, hopefully you've taken and made an educated guess, and it's okay if you make a mistake, because that's how we learn and that's how we grow. So if we're adding will, it's I will. That's the easy part, because you know you're adding will. But it wouldn't be I will walked, because now we're in the future. We're not in the past. We're going from the past to the future. So we have to get rid of the ed and just have the base word walk. I will walk quickly. All right, how did you do? Did you get it right? If you did, you should feel good. If you didn't, you should feel good, because now your brain's getting bigger. And if you didn't get it right, then erase your awesome mistake and write the sentence correctly. I will walk quickly. All right, now pause. And what do you think you would say using going to? Would you say I going to walk quickly? Would you say I going to walked quickly? Again, hit pause, please, and make an educated guess. Hypothesize. What's the right way to say that to talk about walking in the future, but using going and to with the naming part I? What would you write? How would you say that? Just how would you naturally say it? All right. Press pause, write it, and then press play again to see if your answer is correct. Okay, this is the way to write this sentence in the future using going to. You'd say I. You wouldn't say I going to. You have to add am. I am going to. I am going to walk quickly, or I am going to walk quickly. It's walk quickly. Period. All right? Did you get it right? If you did, you should feel good. If you didn't, you should say, thank you, God, for helping me make an awesome mistake. And then you can fix it. Because that's how we learn and that's how we grow. All right. Our last sentence, I am working hard. Guess what? Let's fix that. Let's change that, because we did I and I here. Let's change it to, how about we, not I am, but we are. So over here, please write we are. We are working hard. That's in the present. We are working hard. And at the end of work is ing. That means it's in the present. We are working hard. Yes, we are. Doing a great job. All right. Now we want to go from the present to the future using will. Would you say we are will working hard? Would you say we will working hard? Press pause and please write the future tense of work using the word will and the naming part we. And then when you're done making your hypothesis, press play, see if we'll check your prediction. All right. Let's check your hypothesis. First, we know the first word is going to be we, and the second word is going to be will. And then we have to put the verb. We will what? We will work. Would it be work or working? We will working hard or we will work hard? Yeah, it's work. We wouldn't say we will working. We would say we will work. How will we work? Hard. Period. All right. If you got it right, say awesome job. And if you got it wrong, say awesome job and then fix it. Make it right. All right, now, then after you've written we will work hard, please think, how would you write this sentence using going to? Would it be we going to working hard? We will going to work hard? We go to work hard? It's got to use going to. Would it be we are going to work hard? Okay. Press pause, write the sentence the correct way, and then press play to check your hypothesis. All right, here we go. We know the first word is we. But after we have to add a word before adding going to. Would we say we am going to? No, we'd say we are. We are going to. We are going to working hard. We are going to work hard. All right. So that is a good summary of how we write sentences in the past or the present, the future using will, or the future using going to. All right, so now please take out page 52 in your practice book. Write your name and number at the top, and then go to the video for practice book page 52 where I walk you through the directions. All right, I'll see you there.